It's Josh with Products for Fun, and today I'm going to be showing you our spring update, which will involve everything that's kind of happened from March into May. Okay, it is March 26th, and I'm getting ready to plant some peas. I soaked them overnight, and then this is a guide I made to get my depth at 2 inches. And then I'm just using this 4-foot level to evenly space out the row of peas. If it's perfectly in the box, then it's easy to clean. Once I've made all the holes, I just pop the peas in, 1 per hole, and then I'll give them a little bit of water and cover them up. Here you can see the 2 rows I put in each of the boxes. It's April 1st, and I'm getting a soil delivery today. I'm getting the second delivery, which will be about 4 cubic yards. And my wife and I will spend the rest of the day shoveling this into buckets, and we did have a brief rainstorm, which was fun. So it's April 6th now, and I've filled up the garden boxes. Brought in 9 cubic yards of soil this year. First of the peas. Those just germinated, and they popped up out of the soil surface today. Got a lot of problems with some cats and squirrels getting in the garden boxes this year. This box has parsnips in it, and I don't expect to see any emergence for probably another 15 days or so. This is the blueberry plant I was harvesting berries from last year. In this little row here in between the box, there are some smaller garlic plants that I put in there. I put the bulbs in. And here are some larger ones. I put all the large bulbs in this section. And you can see they're kind of emerging like this. I transplanted these chives from a couple other boxes when I raised up the soil levels. This is another herb that was planted last year. These are Egyptian onions that I transplanted, and they're doing nicely. I'm going to plant potatoes this year in this old compost bin. I'm going to start the potatoes off down at this lower level of soil, and I'm just going to keep adding composted manure on top. Here is one of the permaculture beds. I've got raspberries. They're starting to develop their leaves. Strawberry plants, rhubarb. You can see it's already kind of developing a flower there. For those of you who like wild edibles, these are ramps. These are a native plant. They have a great garlic taste to them, and they're only available in the spring for a few weeks. This is some kale we threw in a flower bed. We adopted this shrub from I think it was a Lowe's, something in their clearance section, and first year or two it didn't do too well, but you can see it's really starting to take off now. This is our front flower bed, and you can see all these wildflowers have already come up from last year. So here's the progress on the peas after a couple weeks. And cauliflower and some broccoli. Here's our first Martha Washington asparagus. It's come up for the year. Let's see, another one over here. Rhubarb plant with some strawberries and more raspberries. And dandelion ramps. So here's an example of squirrels digging in the garden. Peas are looking good. Got some rocky top lettuce. This is snowball cauliflower here, these 2 sections. And then this is some green comet broccoli. The ramps are looking good. Permaculture box is looking well. We've got some strawberry plants in here. Rhubarb, raspberry plant. Fresh homegrown asparagus is awesome. I did transplant some of the strawberries from the other box that were growing out outside the box a little bit. My wife and I call this the I love you rose. When we were first dating, I bought her a potted rose plant, little mini rose, and we've had it planted out in our yards for years. I thought I killed it off, but it looks like it has survived. I just might need to trim it. Daffodils are about done for the season. We've got this other really cool flower here that I'm not sure what it is, but are Egyptian onions that I transplanted. Chives that I started from seeds a couple years ago. I've transplanted these. This is oregano. Smells awesome. Garlic bulbs. I split the cloves earlier on in the season and got them. I planted them pretty deep. So the strawberries are showing signs of our first flowers of spring already. Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day, and here are the strawberries. They're doing really well this year. I fertilized them with a little bit of composted manure. In the asparagus bed, I've already harvested what I want for the year, and the rest of it I'm going to let go to seed. But you can see how tall the asparagus is getting. This is the Martha Washington variety. I got this broccoli and cauliflower in when it was still pretty cold outside. The new bed this year is looking kind of sad. We got a couple marigolds up front and some blueberry plants that we transplanted. They did get hit with some frost, so they're struggling a bit. This old compost bin that's broken has some potatoes planted in it. In this bed I've got a little bit of cilantro, some kale, basil, that's a lavender right there. These are garlics. These chives are blooming. Those are all transplanted. They come back every year. As well as the oregano. I put a little bit of dill back there, and then these are Egyptian onions. These little tops will grow a little more onions in the top. It's not a seed, it's actually a little tiny plant. A little roots out. This is an experiment I'm doing this year. Since I added more soil, I am going to try 3 tomato plants. These are beefsteak tomatoes. I got them in a local greenhouse. And I'm going to train them to hang over the side of the garden box. So they're up out of the way and we continue to get good sunlight over here. Summer squashes. I got those from a local greenhouse. I've got peas, and these are some California wintergreen peppers. I lost the ones I started in the house. I went on a trip and they dried out. The Merlot lettuce is popping up in a couple spots pretty well. Parsnips. Parsnips have a really slow germination, and I got these out early, but you can see these ones are looking nice. The seeds are these little flat discs. They look something like that. So these yellow flowers, this is what happens if you let your kale stay out there from the year before. But I'm just going to let these go to seed, and then I'll have some kale seeds from next year. Carrot bed's doing good. I also had some digging problems in this bed. I planted in a couple nice neat rows, and they've all got messed up by the critters. Rocky top lettuce with some garlic planted in between. Barrel is wildflowers. Here's the rain barrel after a year. See, we got a little bit of sun fade on the green plastic, a little bit on the black, but it's holding up pretty well. I gotta remember to keep rotating it. See what a little grape cluster starts off looking like. Here is the Chicago Hardy fig. The first set of leaves did get frosted out on us, but right over here you can see some of the fig leaves. So here are some wildflowers that come up every year. We planted these a couple years back. A nice shrub of lemon balm right here. You can see my crazy antenna mast. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that video, so thank you for watching.